Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. Today was my day off, quote unquote, my day off. I don't really have a schedule, so I really don't have a day off, right? But I want to talk about something that has been bothering me. When you study finance, when you study economics, when you study economic analysis or financial analysis, you come across this whole debate about renting versus owning a home. And I want to come out and say, for black people, do whatever you possibly can to get in on a home. Let me give you the debate and tell you why the debate is wrong. So, you have Khan Academy, who illustrates the debate perfectly. I'm not attacking Khan Academy. I'm not saying that they're wrong about anything. I'm saying that they show you the debate perfectly. And what's the debate? Renting versus owning. So on the one side, you have renting. And let's compare apples to apples. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. House, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom. You can have a house that has no yard and what have you. That's basically the same as renting an apartment, right? So they say you don't have to down pay. You don't have a down payment of $20,000. You don't have to pay. Maybe you don't have to pay water, or maybe you don't have to pay something like that. Garbage, something, right? There's always some sort of incentive to rent, right? And while it's more than the house, buying a house, the savings that you get from the lack of down payment is going to, over the long run, make you come out ahead so that you will save money in the renting versus the buying of the house. And what do you do with that savings? You go and you reinvest that money that you're saving into stocks, bonds, stocks that pay you dividends, right? Gold, silver, what have you, right? And then in the house, you simply have the house and you have all these expenses, and the house actually depreciates. So they present the real view of home purchasing versus what you see on TV about, oh, my house went up 30% in 30 days, and I sold it and I made a cool $50,000. Okay, well, the Khan Academy presents the truth about it. Your house depreciates, so it's an ever-losing money trend. It used to be that real estate was one of those stable investments. You buy the house, and the money that you put into the house, you get out of the house. That's it. You're just dollar for dollar. You're good. Stable, not volatile, conservative, quote unquote investment. Okay, here's the reality. The whole renting part is crap. A lot of people who get into renting, they present you the iPhone of renting. Oh, come live here. We have beautiful girls that hang out at the pool, and this is by a college, so you have all of these nice young nubile bodies walking around, scantily clad. Oh, come here, and it's only $2,000 a month, and we have manicured lawns, and it's gated, and that's the reality of renting today. Renting isn't this huge money-saving thing. They have marketed rental properties to such a degree that people want to actually live there. So they charge a premium for renting. And it just simply depends on how much you can actually afford a month of where you actually live. At the top end, they make it super exciting. And, at the bottom end, it's not so exciting, but they still have this marketing thing about them, because a lot of the properties own several different properties. So they have a cheap property and they have an expensive property. I've lived in places like that where they say, well, you go to our other property. It's much nicer than here. And, people are honest with me. So they'll tell me that, hey, we own 5 properties. You could spend $100 more and have a clean pool every day. They come right out and tell me, that I'm living I'm living in a garbage heap, but they manage a different property. I wouldn't even have to transfer papers because they've already run all my stuff. Same exact management company. Versus owning a home. Now, for black people, here is what you have to do. You have to sit somewhere, preferably your parents' house, save enough money for a down payment. This is if you're lazy. I'm talking about lazy. This is my lazy investor video. Sit in your parents' house, save all the money you possibly can, and that means, black parents, that you need to allow your young person to stay in your house and stop being stupid, because the economy it's not 1940 anymore. In the 1940s, you could be in high school and buy a house. Those days are over. I want you to compare the food prices in 1940s till today. So this whole, you 18, you're a grown man, that whole notion, that's stupidity. You shouldn't be a parent. Yes, and I'm saying that at the age of 18, yes, you are still a parent. And this economy with Barack Obama in the office, who destroyed 60% of black wealth through real estate, just real estate. We're not talking about anything else, just real estate. And I still hear black people, well, he's 18. He's got to go. He's got to get out. I need my privacy. Meanwhile, the Mexicans have 15 Chicanos living up in there in a 1-bedroom house, 1-bedroom apartment, killing it, making money hand over fist. They each pay a dollar in rent. And then you look up 10 years later, they own an entire strip mall of shops, killing it. I know because I used to manage an entire store of them. They all lived in the same apartment. 1 bedroom. I said, how do you sleep? I said, well, we don't sleep. We have 2 jobs, each of us. Nobody sleeps. How do you get around? We have 1 car. Well, who gets the car? It's whoever, and we just call and say, you got the car? Can you pick me up? If not, we take the bus. We're in it to win it. We're not about this. I can't be, you need to get up out from under me. I need my space. That means black parents have to be parents, and they need to understand. Rich people don't say that. Rich people. In fact, rich people are like, well, where do you think you're going? Well, I want to stow my own. Well, you could take a trip, a vacation, but you're bringing your white butt back here. Oh, yes, indeed. Now come to the morning meeting where we can discuss training you finally to sit on the board and potentially be the CEO one day. Huh? Just killing it. I need my space. Idiot people. Just idiot people. And then well, I'm a good parent. You're not a good parent. Teaching your son or daughter to say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, that's nothing. That's child's play. That's nothing. Teaching them how to succeed in life financially, because finance is the only thing that matters. I'm here to tell you. All the rest of this, well, he's a good Christian. He's a good poor Christian that wound up in jail because he couldn't afford to get a lawyer to fight off these horrible cops who will come in your house, drag you out of the house. Oh, yes. It's all over my Facebook page. People love posting stuff. The cops ran into this guy's house, drug him out of the house, drug him out of his own house, and then lied about it and said, oh, he was standing on the street and we told him this and that and the other, and he resisted arrest and choked the kid. And thank God there was a photographer there who took a picture of everything. Drug this guy out of his own house. And this is a white guy. You know, for a black person, they would have shot him. They would just come right up in his house and shot him. And these weren't poor people. So it's not a poor thing. And it was like, well, the rich always get off. Well, the rich do always get off because they have the resources to bring the bear to fight the beast that is the city and the police. You're a failure if your kid ends up in jail. I don't care what he's there for. You're a failure. I said jail. I didn't even say prison. I said jail. Well, he didn't pay his taxes. He didn't pay his parking ticket. You're a failure as a parent. I blame you. Here's what you do. You buy yourself a house. Buy yourself a starter house. First time buyer, you get a whole bunch of incentives, but you got to bring some cash to the table. You have to have some skin in the game. When they compared the wealth of white people versus black people, now I already made a big, huge, I made several videos about this. The biggest issue that they said or noted was that white people own their own homes. Over and over and over. White people own study after study after study talking about the wealth gap between whites and blacks. But when you hear something that's directed at black people, say, well, you shouldn't buy a home. You should rent and save your money and invest. What black person you know that invest? I'm here to tell you it doesn't happen. Why? Because those same studies that talk about the wealth gap also says black people have a universal failure to invest, even in simple stuff like insurance. Simple stuff. Insurance. Is insurance an investment? It's a quasi-investment. You kind of get what you put into it. Insurance definitely maintains your status in a certain aspect. You buy insurance for this. If this occurs, you get that money. You can buy $1 million policy for almost anything. Literally, it means that if that happens, you get $1 million. And no, you're not putting in $1 million. You're paying constantly, but you're not putting in $1 million. And no, they're not going to go bankrupt if it just means that everybody in the entire group keeps putting in millions of dollars every month, and they pay out occasionally. It's not a Ponzi scheme, but I'm saying that's the simplest thing of it. The study after study after study, studying the wealth gap between white and black says consistently, blacks don't own their own house. Blacks don't invest their money. They make the same exact amount, same income. They have broken it down to same income, same family size, been married the same exact amount of years. But the black family doesn't own their house, isn't buying their house, or whatever you want to call it. The black family also doesn't invest this money. So when you turn around and look at these stupid commercials or shows or whatever, where you have a black entrepreneur or something talking to black people, and he says, you should own your own house. You should just rent and invest the savings. Well, okay, well, that doesn't happen. That's why the debate is stupid. The investment part never happens in the black community. So I'm here to tell you, 100% buy a house. Always. 100%. I don't want to, and there's no debate about it. You're not going to do, and I mean, if this video goes out to millions and millions and millions of people, I'm not talking about the black Donald Trump that's sitting among us, who he's just going to blow the sky off of finance and have a fantastic life. He better buy a house too. But I'm talking about the millions of black families out there that don't own their own home and don't invest. Be the lazy investor. Save up your goddamn money. Buy a damn house. Buy the most ricketiest, roachest house you could find. And I don't care what anybody says if they come over and says, oh, your house is roach and stuff. Say it's mine. God damn it, it's mine. And when you are getting close to paying it off, you go find you a not so rickety, roachy house, bigger, and you move into that and rent out the rickety roach house. That's how you do it. 100% buy a house. When you are renting, you are throwing your money away. Hey, I did that with my left hand. Throwing your money away. I don't care what you say. If you're paying a mortgage, and that's the most horrible way to do it, I don't encourage it. I'm creating an instructional series for you to buy a house with very little down and end up investing in real estate itself. But that's a different story. I'm talking about the lazy people who don't want to do anything, who just wants to go to the bank, get a mortgage, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And I say 100% black people should do that. And before you buy a house, take all of the contracts to a lawyer. He's going to cost you about $300. So you got to save up your money to afford the lawyer too. Before any of this starts, this is the planning stage. Before any of this starts, before you save your money, save up and be planning on seeing a lawyer. How did Barack Obama and Wells Fargo take advantage of all of those black people and destroy 60% of black wealth? The black people didn't read the friggin' contracts that they signed for the mortgages. Destroyed them. Go find you and make sure that the damn lawyer isn't the nephew of the bank owner, okay? Don't be stupid. Shop around for a lawyer. If I say 100% buy a house and 100% get a lawyer to look over all of the contracts. Plan on it. Set aside money for it. Save money for it. 100%. Stop renting. You're not doing anything but destroying the black community. I'm trying to build it up. Renting destroys the black community. Okay? This is the lazy investor video. So 30 years down the road, you own a house. You are sitting pretty. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay mortgage. You don't have to pay anything. And if you get cute with it, you pay bi-monthly. You'll pay off the house sooner and get the equity in the house much faster just by paying twice a month. Make sure your lender is okay with that. So then you have to go shop for the correct lender because you want to pay that every 2 weeks because that's going to save you money and save you time. And I said, once you get 50% equity in a home, you can buy another house. Move out of the rickety house, move into your brick house. Same thing. When that gets to 50%, move out of that one. And you're renting, you're keeping all of these homes and you're renting out these houses. You don't have to wait to 50% equity. You can wait to 30% equity. 30% equity is a fantastic time to move out of a house. You can get all sorts of loans. People love that. Even investors love that. 30%, you own 30% of the equity in the home. Okay, let's talk. Black people, 100% buy the home. 100% have a lawyer look over the contracts before you sign anything. And you say, I'm going to have my lawyer look this over. And if they object to that, you need to step. You need to say, deuces, peace, I'm out of here. I don't deal with people who are shysters or underhanded people. Yeah, you go curse them out because that's not the people you want to deal with, okay? Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show.